Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 12 of Hand of Fate. I'm going to jump right in because these final few runs do take quite a long time to get through.
King of Plague.
And we're going to be up against the King of Plague this time. Now I think this is the encounter that I got stuck on when I played the game in early access. It was either this one or this one. It was one of these last two, I can't really remember. Wasn't actually the boss himself, it was more the run-through. So we've got Wrath of Food in combat. Each counter-attack, the player inflicts double damage and loses 1 food. No bonus or penalty for 0 food. So this basically means we can't counter-attack. If we counter-attack, we lose food. And in combat, everybody moves 20% faster and receives plus 50% damage. Well, that's a little bit crap. And there's also some challenges in here that give us extra injuries, which means we really don't want to run out of food. So we're basically going to have to do this and avoid counter-attacking, which is not too bad for me because I tend...
dark, surviving every challenge and feasting upon the bones of every single failure.
It's not too bad for me because I just tend to do a lot of dodging and rolling around as opposed to counter-attacking and blocking, so... We'll use again the default deck to begin with, and let us start our adventure.
The king will not respond to your normal tactics. In fact, he will make you work harder for less gain than ever.
So as you can see, these curse cards can be quite nasty.
So
What do we
much
start with?
destruction you have wrought. Once this is done and the Rat King chews upon your bones, it will be an age before I can find new pieces to face those who come to play.
Okay, Ring of Justice. Using a weapon ability causes the player to be fully healed and the ring to be destroyed at the end of combat. So it's a one-time use item, and it means we also need a weapon with an ability. And this is the same blessing that we had at the start of the last game. So, this is unfortunate. We've got a curse that is deliberately designed to take food away from us, and we start on a level that basically gives us 3 different directions we can travel in, just to be annoying.
It seems
Cave
our
rescue
pirates
once more.
and our bandits are cut from the same cloth. Do you think it's true that men are alike wherever you find them? Or is it just that our memories fade and congeal with the cold passage of time?
Well, it's only 1 monster card. It's only a 2 of dust. We'll attack them. We might as well. We just need to remember not to block here. That's what's going to catch me out. I've just got to make sure that I keep my finger well away from Q. So if I see anybody do that, I just need to hit space and just basically get away from them. Oh, and then not roll back into them, preferably. There we go. Did take 1 hit in there, which was unfortunate, but... I don't like that ring. It's a bit of a crappy item to start with. For a start, I don't like one-time use stuff, and then only not having a weapon that I can activate is a bit of a pain. 5 max health is good, though. Okay, so we carry on guessing which direction we have to go in. Alicia in Underworld. We can try this again and see if we can actually manage it. We've never managed it yet. On the top, on the right, in the middle. Could be anywhere. It's like, once it goes underneath, it's hard to tell which direction it goes in. We'll try once more. Don't think we're going to manage it. So it's on the left. It's gone underneath somewhere, so it could be anywhere. Again, it wasn't that one. I never managed to get this one right. I'm so terrible at it. Right, I'll give it one more go. It's on the left again. And it's gone underneath somewhere. No, I missed it every time. And now I'm out of gold. Was worth a try. One day I will actually complete that encounter. And we have found the way out here. Marketplace and loan. The loan could be useful. The marketplace we can't do, but I don't really want to waste food backtracking all the way down there, so we will carry on and do the sea voyage.
A voyage across the ocean, or merely a trip down the river.
And plus of which, with the problem with the loan, well, for a start, I don't have 10 gold to give him, and you can't guarantee how much gold you'll get back from it because you draw 3 gold gain cards, and they could be 1 gold each, so... We will board the ship and carry on. I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit more linear. So we do know that we have a healer down there. So again, nice linear one.
Perhaps complacent. Yet, these final opponents I assembled in ages past specifically to hold against the greatest challenges. You cannot possibly hope to defeat them.
Well, we've got to carry on moving. We can't skip anything out or try and go around anything. The Angry Guildmaster, that's because we did the Lovers.
And our prince straddles the borders. This token will unlock more cards if you can defeat this encounter.
As you travel the dark streets of Steigl one night, a nobleman atop a mighty steed nearly knocks you down. Humbly apologise or steal from him. Let's just apologise. Out of my way, peasant, he calls as he rides away. My daughter has run away with a vagabond. So we have to try and steal with him, apparently. Okay, well, at least we know that for next time we find that encounter. But nothing bad happened.
They hunt.
Golem hunting party. Well, we know this one. It's only a 1 of Golem. We'll attack. Only got a 1 in 3 chance of screwing this up. You can guarantee I'll do it, because that's what I do. Oh, no. We charge into battle. So we've got 1 Golem to defeat here. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. We are once again on this flipping annoying stage that has booby traps on it. So we do need to try and avoid running into any of them. There's one on either side of the bridge. Oh, I actually ran into that by accident because I thought he was actually charging up his... I thought he was charging up his unblockable attack. I didn't think he was charging up his explosion. Actually took him out a lot quicker than I was expecting to there. Took a little bit of health loss, not a huge amount, so I don't mind that too much. And food goes onto that tile, so we will get some extra food, so it's not a bad thing having that card in the deck. So as you can see, you think, well, you have to defeat that encounter 3 times in order to be able to remove it from the deck. But there is a plus side for keeping it in the deck, because if every time you complete that encounter, you get given food. So it's definitely worth doing it. We're going to pass the healer. We don't really have any money, and we'll be at full health when we move on to this tile. The Holy Forge, well, we don't have the item, so we can't do anything on this, so we just have to pass it by. So there's another tile skipped. Some food, and the altar. Do we want to pray at the altar? Sure, we skipped it out last time. Let's go for it again. There is a huge failure, which we'd like to avoid.
Choose from these options.
Oh. And of course, I managed to find it. Wow. That we've just lost like most of our health there. Well, I definitely can't carry on with my health that low, so I'm just going to go and backtrack around a little bit. Do we want to go to the travelling healer? It'd be nice if I could use that ring, but I don't have a weapon that I can activate, which is the problem. We're already on the tile, so let's go to the shop. Maybe I've got something that I can sell. Maybe I'm better off selling that ring. I mean, what is it worth? The Ring of Justice is only worth 10, which is not going to buy me a lot of heals. Heal wounds we can't afford. Wow, that might have just been a real misplay there. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the risk. That said, we'll just carry on, and we'll just have to hope that I can get some health back before anything too nasty happens to us. Back on the altar. That puts us up to 35. That puts us up to 41.
It's better than trudging along a muddy road. Certainly.
I can't afford to backtrack around too much because I don't have the food to do it. Travelling jeweler and a travelling mage. It doesn't matter really which way we go here.
Ha! I know you will not tell me. Like all the rest, you are silent.
Heroes remains we could probably do. Take the hero's belongings. The Viking blade. Right, it has rage. We can use this.
Are you sure
we don't want to equip
the
the shield because we can't really use the shield anyway. But if we can get into combat,
more than anything,
now which way are we going to have to go?
I am proud of my array of curses.
Heroes return. Goes there. Okay, we're quite close. Which is a little bit of a shame. It means I don't get a combat where I can actually use the sword. Because if I could have used the sword in combat, we could have popped it to use the ring to heal. We'll pass by the shop. We'll be getting rid of the sword. Or do we want to keep the sword? Not too sure what happens if you don't, and I'm a little bit reluctant to do it. So we'll return the sword and shield. We get food. It's only 1 food, which is really pathetic. But we lose heavy burden. Move on to the next card. Twisted Canyon and Tavern. Well, we don't really want to go Tavern. Getting a better weapon might be useful. We do have some food. I think it might be worthwhile doing Twisted Canyon just to try and get a better weapon, and it's costing us food, but it is allowing us to heal, and that's more important right at this very moment. So we've got a 50% chance of success. I really don't know here. Got a success. Good. That's what I was hoping for. So we get a weapons card. And we've got the huge hammer. And it does have force explosion, so it has something we can activate. Although we are nearly at full health now, so it doesn't matter all that much. Let me continue to the next bit. I want to reread the description on that ring. Oh, well, that's nasty. Okay, well, we know not to head up to that corner. I might check down here, but this is a really nasty layout.
Did you
Never seen that
expect me
before.
to tell your fortune? No. A fortune teller is at their most base and despicable when they begin to believe their own lies. Of course.
So it causes us to be healed at the end of combat
My
if we
powers
use
are
the
genuine.
weapons ability. Okay. Well, we have to move on to that tile. A winding trail. It's one of the dealer's spike cards. We get a monster
It would be
card, which
beneficial
is
to
the Queen
deal
of
that
Dust
crossbow
and
as
the
a
Queen of
priority,
Skulls. Wow.
Don't you think?
Give them all our gold. That's not enough money. Well, why give me the option then? So we've got the Queen of Skulls and the Queen of Dust. That's going to be annoying. Got a feeling we're going to take a lot of damage here. So what we might want to do is pop our weapon ability. Oh, I just accidentally hit counter there. Although I'm hoping very much that it's not going to make any difference because I didn't actually counter anything. And I'm going to take a lot of damage here if I don't avoid these things. So we need to try and take out this... there's very little point in me trying to do too much damage to these bosses while or their minions while their totems and stuff are up. Now the totems are down, this makes life a lot easier. I've got one guy throwing bombs at me. She's hitting me hard in the face. And remember, I'm still under the same problem I had before, which is that I currently cannot counter. Of course, I can use my weapon ability again. There's no limit to the amount of times you can do that. And even though this has potentially been a relatively bad fight, we will actually regain all of our health at the end of it, so... Saying that, I haven't actually lost that much health on this fight. There we go, so we'll be at full health. So that was a very nasty encounter. So we lose the ring. We get fully healed. Or at least we should do. We get 2 gain cards, 30 gold. And... now that's interesting, because none of those are the way out of the level. Which means it's probably this one. So, the question is, do I want to try and go and do any of these? Maybe we want to go up there and try and do charity. And come back. Don't have a lot of food, though. Metal ore.
I
Okay, we've
wonder
found
how much
that.
time you spend simply chasing down blind alleys.
Just going to ignore it because I can't be bothered. Let's pay 1 food. Mr. Lionel. Give him the gold. What does he give us? Equipment card. The Skeleton King's sword. That is probably better than what I'm using. Because I do like the ability to gain... Did I quit that? I do like the ability to actually leech health. Yeah, we do have that equipped. That's the wrong button again. Yeah, it's getting a bit tricky. Let's go ahead and do this one.
Every
Charity
game
tour. I
must
might not have an
both
awful lot to give
winners
him.
and losers. Without them, it
Give
degenerates
food to the
into
priest.
nothingness.
I'm only going to give him 1 food because it's all I've got. We don't have a very high chance of doing this, do we? So I probably shouldn't have bothered with that at all. Ah, I misread that one completely. I was too busy talking. Oh, he gives us a blessing anyway.
I made that a little too powerful. I will have to rebalance
well, that's good.
that next time.
So basically, whenever we get struck with a ranged attack, the person that hits us is stunned. That's actually a good thing because we can't counterattack. So the chances of
badly.
the chances of us getting struck by something that we can't dodge is more likely.
Forward, hunting for the truth.
Unfortunately, we're now down to 1 food. So it'd be really nice if we could, get some food. And again, we've got another horrible layout. I really dislike this.
You are here. He can smell you.
The maiden. Right, let's just ask straight up for food. Ask for supplies. 2 food gain cards. A 1. Fantastic. And a 5. Okay, better than nothing. Let's move down here. We can buy a food card, although it won't be a very good one. Approach the shop. Also, don't forget, the idea of this isn't necessarily to visit every single card. I mean, there are pros and cons to it. Sometimes you'll land on a card that is useful, and that card will then allow you to gain something extra. So there is a reason for going to some cards, but there again, you could land on a card that has a negative event, which could end up making things really bad for you. In which case, wow, that's a lot of gold. In which case, you could end up worse off. And obviously, every card you move on to costs you food. So there's definitely a point where you think to yourself, well, I just want to get to the end as quick as possible. Which is kind of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to complete it as opposed to just get every single card. So I doubt any of these cards are going to be the cards we need to visit. So we're going to head across and try and uncover these. Travelling Tinker we don't need to visit. We've just got rid of all of our money. Strange to have 2 shops sort of right close to each other. In fact, right next to each other. I'm going to assume this is probably the exit. No, apparently it isn't.
Meet the Lord of all pestilence. The King of Plague.
I must admit, I confess I'm really confused here. Maybe this is because this particular level was designed to run you out of food and they didn't want it to go on for too long, but considering the level before this actually took me nearly 45 minutes and this has taken me less than 20 to reach the boss, and yeah, I'm actually really surprised by that. But this is the most dangerous Ratman known. The Ratman King has a leap attack that must be avoided if you want to keep the skin on your bones. And we can't... Well, it doesn't matter if we counter, actually.
If you win.
Remember, this is the last encounter. So it doesn't matter how much food I lose. I don't need any more food now. So a lot of this is just going to come down to how many of his buddies we have to fight. Looks like it's just going to be 4. I've got a feeling I have fought against this guy before. Which very much means I either fought against him in the pre-release and lost to him, or the other possibility is it's been rebalanced. So, but the point is he has much unblockable stuff and he has a nasty leap, which is that thing. Yeah, I have seen that before. I'm almost certain of it. Let's make sure we use our sword's life leech ability as often as we can. Wow, I'm taking a lot of damage here. I think speed definitely needs to be of the essence. Right, I'm losing a lot of health. I've just got to go nuts on this guy and try and hack him to pieces before he can kill me. Yeah, he's down. Wow, got very low on health there. He either had some sort of debuff aura or I was poisoned. It was hard to tell, but my health got very, very low. So I think I got stuck on that encounter before. I think
to recover from this, they must battle and battle to find a new king. We reach the end of days and the end of my reserves. You have taken near everything from me.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that I got to that guy before and I think I arrived at him with so low health that I got killed and then couldn't get to him again because I was getting stuck on that stupid Minotaur event. And I think the only one time I got past that Minotaur event, I had like 10-15 health, got to that boss battle and then died. So that's probably what happened. So this is kind of new ground for me now. As a reward for defeating the Ratman King, you receive the Folded Steel, which is a artifact, the Soldier's Furor, the Mage's Scorn, the King of Scales, which is going to be the final boss in the suits. I also noticed I haven't come across any of the mages in this, which is really weird, because there was a type of bad guy in the early access that was basically like a human mage that had these magical abilities that you had to sort of avoid and go and run up and hit them. Haven't encountered them once in this, so that's a little bit weird. And Secret Society.
We approach the final battle, the decisions.
So we are progressing further on. I'm not too sure how long there is to go. Obviously, we've got at least one more encounter. As far as I understand, I've heard a little bit of a tidbit that you do at some point have to face the dealer. So whether or not there will be another battle after the sort of the King of Scales, I do not know. But it's definitely going to be interesting to find out. We can see that his dagger has now appeared on the table, so we will be playing for that on the next battle. But that will be next weekend. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Hand of Fate. I'm having a lot of fun playing it this time around. I mean, I did before in the early access, but I think that it's been a little bit more balanced now. Those curses can certainly be quite annoying, and I'm not the most dexterous of player. I admit that there have been times where I've made bad decisions and not necessarily made the most tactical plays on the route that I've taken through the levels. I admit there's been times that I've completely messed up on choices of gear. There's been times I've messed up on the actual combat itself, where I've, rolled right into something or blocked at a bad time, and stuff that I've done that's cost me dearly in terms of health. And, I admit that I mess up the chance games quite a lot. Because I don't always spot where the card goes. Not that you can always spot where the card goes, but overall I think we've done quite well. We've now got to the 12th encounter, so we've done 11, and out of the 11 that we've done, I've only failed once. So I don't think that's actually too bad, and I'm looking forward to going through and completing this game. So I'll see you guys on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.